Hey guys, this is Notaku Podcast. I am your host, Eli. Today I'm with my co-host, Ben.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We'd like to thank everyone for joining us on this week's episode. For any new listeners, we are two guys who review media entertainment on a 0.25 scale. And we look for 10 things that we both came to a conclusion, and we rate it out of 10. Spoiler warnings ahead. Ben, are there spoilers in this episode?
Oh, there are many spoilers.
There's always going to be spoilers.
Always spoilers.
This week's episode is Big Stan. Directed by Rob Schneider, and main actors are Rob Schneider, David Carradine, Jennifer Morrison, and Scott Wilson. Ben, I got to be honest with you. This week's episode is kind of rough. This week's episode is, shall I say, hot garbage.
Can I tell you, it took me 11 hours to watch a 2-hour movie.
11 hours? Okay. Did you pause a lot? Take a minute? Like, did you drink a little? Like,
No, I fucking had to pause what I was watching, digest what I had just seen, kind of walk away, get something to drink, something to eat, go for a little walk. I don't fucking know. I had to pause like 10 times throughout this film to understand what the fuck I was watching.
I think it took me, let me think. I know I watched it in sporadic. The first 40 minutes took me like 3 to 6 hours. I cannot lie to you about that. That was forever. Then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to sit and watch it. Sat on my couch right before I went to work, watched it, and finished. And then I sat there for like 10 minutes going, what in good God did I just watch?
The only reason that I got through this goddamn movie was for this podcast.
Oh, like Haganani?
Yeah, just like Hog and I. How about we read a synopsis?
Yeah, let me read you what we got. Okay, Big Stan came out in 2007. This movie is about a weak con man panics when he learns he's going to prison for fraud. He hires a mysterious martial arts guru who helps transform him into a martial arts expert who can fight off inmates who want to hurt or love him. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to ask you the question. That synopsis, did the movie portray that?
I mean, it did.
That's exactly what the movie was. Like, per word.
Yeah, verbatim, that's exactly what it was.
Like, you literally read that, that's all you need to know about the film. Like, there's no mystery, there's nothing, mysterious. No. It was a weak little bitch con man going to prison. He got time before to go to prison to figure out his shit. That was the dumbest plot hole.
Hey, you got fucking 6 months.
He got 6 months to figure this shit out. I was hoping in the movie he'd go to prison, meet a guru in prison.
I don't know what I was hoping. I
was hoping this film actually had some ground, but then I realized Rob Schneider directed and starred in it. So there's your fault. There's the thing.
No,
right?
well, here's the Rob Schneider can direct some pretty damn good comedies, but this one was not one of them.
He should not be. I feel this is just a general thing I've seen with some actors. I don't think actors should be in their own directorial movies. If you're going to be the actor, be the actor. If you're going to be the director, be the director. Don't be both. It just shows your ego a little too much, and it kind of kills the film.
I agree.
Okay, so first off, the plot of this film, I gave this a 0.25. I gave it a solid 0.25. This film there's nothing there. The synopsis is what you got, and that's what you get. And it's really dry, bad. The comedy's flat. The plot, the wife makes the plot, I don't know how to describe it, bearable at best. But she was dumb as shit. Like, this was awful.
Yeah, I gave it a 0 for plot. There was no fucking plot.
No, there wasn't.
I mean, there was. The story was, he's a con man, he's going to prison, he wants to learn how to fight, so he gets a guru to protect himself from being raped in jail or prison. Well, okay, great. But That was the stupidest plot I've ever seen. And I don't know. It just was bad.
I loved how throughout this whole film, the story went from he's going to prison, and then he's got 6 months because of a charity case or whatnot. He has he hasn't organized his charity that he was running. That was a lie. I thought that was like the dumbest plot hole. You get 6 months to train because you're a weak man. It's like, okay, you should have given him like a month.
The way it was done was because the judge was bribed.
Yeah, which I was just like, this is okay. And then he took the 6 months, met a guy in the alleyway because he got kicked out of a kid's karate class called what? The Master?
The Master.
And he could not stop smoking. Like, it was annoying how much he smoked. Holy shit. He's the definition of chain smoking. Like, never stops.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. And then you meet the wife who's like that typical, she did the stereotype rich, dumb wife where she cooks nothing but lean cuisine. It's like, okay, cool. And like the actress is a really good actress. And it's like I think she dumbed down to play the role, and it really was not good for her.
She dumbs down to play every role she plays. That's the problem.
Yeah. I liked her in How I Met Your Mother when she did her little role there.
Jennifer Morrison has always dumbed down her character to play her part.
And I hate that. I always hated that she's always had to do that. And it's just not right. And honestly, the whole plot about destroying the prison, getting the prison shut down.
So that was just, I don't understand where that plot line came from. That completely separates from what the main plot line was. Big Stan going to prison and not wanting to be raped. But then all of a sudden, you have this other plot in this movie that says, oh, well, I want to get these prisoners all riled up. They're going to fight each other. I'm going to put weapons in the yard so that when the board comes, they'll shut down this prison. And I'm going to buy up all this land and make it into a condominium resort thing. And that's why he wants Big Stan's help, because Big Stan was
a con man.
A con man in dealing
with timeshares.
Timeshares, that's what it's called. In dealing timeshares. So where the hell did that plot line come from? I don't fucking know. Way out of left field.
Yeah, no, it made no sense. And then it made no sense how Stan knew the Taiwanese mob from the tattoos. I was like, wow, that's very specific of knowing your gangs. Like that was random as hell.
How would he have known? I have no fucking idea.
The Master.
No, the Master. Well, that's still a thing. That was the Master's best student was the Taiwanese guy, but
we don't know that until the end.
Right. And then still, like, how does Big Stan know that they're part of the mob because of his tattoos? No idea. It doesn't tell you how he knew all that stuff.
No, it doesn't tell you at all. It was like the montage in this film was just so bad for the training montage. He's fighting, they're slapping each other a little bit. I'm like, where? Like, okay, cool. I can block your hands even faster now.
He's eating fucking liver and scorpions and like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's eating all this nasty ass garbage. He goes to prison. Man, this shit's good. Was that it? Was that what the food trading was? Was literally so that he can go, oh, this food's not bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Prison food sounds disgusting to me in so many ways. But
I'm pretty sure it's just like school cafeteria food. It's not much different.
See, that's stomach. I can stomach that. Like, but I don't know. I've never been to prison. So, but this plot by far was dry. It was terrible. There was nothing there. And then at the end, when he didn't get probation, so he spent the next 3 years in prison. And that means he got parole. He got sent home. Not because he finished the sentence, because it was 3 to 5. They didn't tell specific. They didn't say how many years he was going to spend there. Apparently,
when they did their conjugal visit, they got a baby.
Yeah, he popped in something. And then the Master's now the nanny?
The master is the nanny and godfather, yes.
And he quit smoking.
No. He's smoking with her in the car.
But
And then
he
they show up and he flicks it away and fans out the car and says, "Don't say anything."
Yeah. So he looks like he's quitting, but he's not. But still, it's and then like he like reforms the prison by himself.
Right, because he beats up like 5 top tier guys, and then he makes it so that they can't rape anybody, they can't.
All right. I want to be real here. That whole montage, that whole thing, when Stan took everyone and sat them down. What in the literal fuck was that? Like, I'm not kidding. Why in God's name did they do that at all? Like, I understand you're trying to show I am the leader of the prison, but no more rape. And Nazi, shut up. And like, he's trying to get all these groups together, like nothing is bad against any of them. And they're just all like, oh yeah, we can be friends. And it's like, I am not watching a schoolyard hour for kids. What?
I don't fucking know, dude. I told you, this plot makes no sense.
This movie makes no sense.
It was a terrible film.
It was. Acting and voice acting.
0.5.
0.5. Hey!
Woohoo!
I felt Rob Schneider, this was out of his comfort zone.
I just feel like he was forcing a movie that he wanted to direct and star in, so he just, sure, I'll do it, and then put on a lackluster performance.
Yes.
I laughed. I can literally say I laughed maybe at 2 parts. 2. Other than that, I found no humor in this the movie, at all.
No, I didn't find any humor in this at all.
The master just freaking annoyed me. Jennifer Morrison, of course, played dumb again, like always. So, nothing there. The only real development that was there was Rob Schneider's character, Big Stan, learning how to fight and then saying yes to Mindy, Jennifer Morrison's character. We can make a baby at the end,
Yeah.
That's the only character development that was in this. Other than the prisoners, changing their style around so they were all being nice to each other instead of fighting each other at the end.
Yeah. So, I just looked up. I just wanted to. This was a little side piece. I wanted to see how much this movie took to make. Their budget was $6 million.
Holy shit.
They made 7.5.
Well, I guess they made profit.
They made $1.5 million profit. But you got to look at it. It's like, okay, look at this star-studding cast. We got Rob Schneider, the David dude, David Cardine, I think that's his name.
Carradine.
David
Something like that. I don't know.
Sally Kirkland. We got Jennifer Morrison, Scott Wilson, Richard Kind, Emmett Walsh. I hated the lawyer, Lou. He was the dumbest character. Oh my god. Him and the warden were absolutely my least favorite characters next to the master. Like if I had to pick one that I liked the most out of this, I probably would have to say I kind of liked Big Raymond.
The prisoner?
Yeah.
The gay prisoner?
He was sensitive, and there were some moments where he's like, "What about the ones who went in for counterfeiting?" That was you.
That was one of the parts that made me laugh.
That was you, and he just smiles, and it's like
he does that side smiles, shy blush. That was one of the parts that made me laugh.
Yeah, that was funny. That's why I like the character. But overall, this whole slew of actors was god awful. Like, I don't want to say that Lou made me want to jump off a cliff with this film and never watch another film from any of these actors again, except maybe Jennifer Morris. But it was that. It was that. I literally just felt nothing connected. I connected nothing with the characters. I felt nothing.
I agree. It was just lackluster in acting for sure.
And it was so... I understand a paycheck's a paycheck, but sometimes we gotta look at the script and go, is this worth it? You gotta look at it because these actors, they had something.
I would regret doing this film if it were me.
I mean, Richard Kind really didn't have a role. He was the first lawyer, and that's it. And I thought he did great for that little role he had. But everyone else, that was just terrible. I did like Henry Gibson, the one who played Shorts, his bunkmate.
True. I liked his bunkmate.
I liked his bunkmate. That was like the redeeming quality of this. It was like the bunkmate was like actually really good to me for his role he had as playing as an inmate who's been in there for 40 years. He's been there his whole life for murdering his wife.
Yep.
So, alcoholism and anger management. That's what I learned about this film. A lot of people go to prison for that. And it's so outdated, like film-wise with the acting, because they talked about the marijuana getting 10 years and like all this.
Well, yeah, but you have to remember it came out in 07.
Yeah, it was outdated for the time. For now.
Yeah.
It's 15 years old, if you can believe that. Character development.
I kind of mixed that in with acting, but I also gave that a 0.5.
I gave that a 0.25.
Yeah, I was being generous.
Yeah, I could tell. I could really tell. Who out of all characters, who developed the most? Like
that was Big Stan, just because, like I was saying, he learned how to fight. He brought the prison together, and at the end, he said, yes, let's make a baby, because remember, originally at the beginning, he wanted absolutely nothing to do with that.
Yeah, because he was a con man who liked his life.
Yeah, because when he found out he was going to prison, he's like, okay, we can have a baby, but what do we do after the 3 years that I'm out of prison? Where do we put it? And she's like, well, we keep it. And he's like, no. But then he said, we can do this at the end.
He changed, and it was really good. I thought another character's development that I think Jennifer's character was, there was some development there. She
very little, but yes, there was some.
Very little. It was there enough to where you can notice it. She went from this like really dumb person to being adequate. And getting her fighting skills and becoming a mom, and she was very responsible. And I just felt like everyone else was just flat. It was just a comedy to be a comedy.
Yeah, it was just put out to be put out. There was no point to it.
So the development was just so dry. There was one actor in here, Brandon T. Jackson. I was so excited that he was in this because I like some of his work. But it's like nothing. There's no development for him because he was just a very small side character.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, there was no. He was just there to be there, just to be a prisoner. That's it.
And then what was it? Dang, the Taiwanese dude. There was nothing there, and the warden just digressed in development.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing to progress on. All he wanted was to shut down the prison and make money off of his new land.
Yeah. Sound and music.
0.25.
I gave it a 0.5.
Why?
I like the Cuban music.
That's why I gave it a 0.25. There was nothing else but that.
I like the Cuban music. See, I like the little nuances of like the karate music, like it felt generic as shit.
Okay, like every karate movie out there where they have that kind of music. Okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was something like, ooh, there's action, and then you watch shit fighting. Like high school choreographers could produce better fight scenes than what this film came out with.
Exactly how I feel. Just what the hell?
Come on, you gotta realize something. You gotta realize something. This film's music was mainly meant to try to scare people and like, oh, this is gonna get intense. And then they did the Mexican music, which became Cuban salsa music, which was hilarious. Like, damn it, I messed up the music. It's okay, man. It's okay. Shit happens.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah, that little part where the old guy's like, ah, shit, I messed up the music.
Gives the wrong music. Yep.
Yeah, but no, I thought the music had some taste. It wasn't spectacular.
Well, usually, even in comedies, music sets the scene. There was nothing in here that set the scene.
Oh no, there was no music to set the scene.
It was just, again, a comedy to throw out a comedy. Nothing good came out of this film.
No, you always have those B-rate films that come out every year. There's like 3,000 films that come out every year, and we only hear about maybe the top 100, the 200
Truth.
that come out in the year. Like, that's it. Like, if you literally deep dived and looked at what 2022 offered, or 2007 offered, this probably was one of the best, worst B films. It's terrible. It's like, that's the standard that 2007 had. We had Transformers in this time period.
Jesus.
You have to think about that. Transformers 1 came out in 07, the same time as Big Stan. Sherlock Holmes came out a couple years later, I think. And then I think another movie that came out in 07 was, I know it was like Harry Potter was still a thing. Like, you gotta remember, this movie was just not meant to be out. This movie was just terrible, and there was better composers. The one who wrote the music was John Hunter.
Yep, I just saw that too.
John Hunter is known for, he did a movie called Silent. He did those Tekken fighting games? They did a movie in 2010. He was the composer for that. And then he did the video game Scarecrow. He did a TV movie called The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lessmore. So the guy really had nothing. He has nothing really. He has 31 jobs, and it's probably his first one he ever did. It's like his fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he did 6 before this. So he had really no experience.
I would say not. Even looking at what he has done, nothing pops up. Nothing pops that, really says this guy's good at his job.
American Virgin, Dead Awake, Action News 5, Silent, The Raven, 3 Days in August, Real Rob, that's a TV series. And his latest work was in 2021, Mr. Spam Gets a New Hat. Yeah, no, this is honestly terrible in so many ways.
Of course, there's me who wouldn't be able to do it, so I'm not putting crap on him. But, I mean,
I'm putting crap on his art that he thought that
his art. Yep.
Yeah, on his art. I'm critiquing his art because it was just flat. It was just uninspiring. There was nothing to keep me engaged.
Nope, not at all.
Cinematography.
0.
I was generous. I gave it a 0.5.
Explain that one.
Well, okay. Let me explain. Shot wise, I liked some of the shots in like when they did the close up through the blinds showing the prison. I liked some of the cuts they did, but overall, there was nothing in depth. There was nothing there.
I cannot give one example that I enjoyed in this film for cinematography like I can everything else.
Oh no. Like if I had to compare a movie side by side, no, this movie literally had a freshman college dropout make this film.
I wouldn't even say freshman. I would say this borderline high school right here. It's a terrible film.
Ooh. High school. My guy. The cinematographer for this film was Victor Hammer. And Victor Hammer really does not have a lot on his repertoire. He's known for Billy Madison. He did Billy Madison in Heavyweights.
Billy Madison had better cinematography than this.
Yeah, he did Major League 2, NCIS Los Angeles, 90210. He is right now exclusively the main cinematographer for NCIS Los Angeles. He's been doing that since 2009. And before he took that major job, He had 91210, Misguided, Big Stan, Firehouse Dog, In Case of Emergencies. Oh, he did Veronica Mars. Welcome to Mooseport. So this guy has something, but I don't know what he was envisioning in this film.
Yeah. I don't know either, because he has a pretty good repertoire. Just what happened? Like,
They say he was the director of photography. And I'm like, what photos? So you had to be the cinematographer for all the shots. God, this film was just an absolute train wreck.
unless Rob Schneider did that, I don't know.
Rob Schneider was the director for sure, but
I know that, but
it doesn't say what else he did. Directing
0.
0.25.
I'm sorry, but I can't give it everything that was shot, every person doing their thing, they did it on their own. I don't feel like there was any direction for any person on this film at all.
I see the vision. I see the vision of what Rob Schneider was doing. He was trying to make a movie about a guy who looks like him, who is him, who is scrawny and basically a piece of poop. And I saw like what he was going for. The show that, oh, with some training, some heart, you can survive in prison too, being this small. No, that his execution hit a brick wall. Like nothing he got was executed correctly. He had to make a sub main story plot to keep the story going. Because once he got to the prison and showed that he was a badass fighter, what was next? What was next?
Exactly.
There was nothing. The direction of the film, he had a good pacing until he went from. Once the fighting montage started with the master and the training and all that, literally his directing just he was building up a story. He's going to prison, and then he gets 6 months. Doesn't make sense why he got 6 months because of the bribe, but that doesn't make sense. But then he does the fighting montage, and he's just so cool with a guy he barely met to live in his house. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like the directing beyond that was just dismal, and there was no direction, like you said.
You sound like you're talking yourself out of a 0.25 rather than supporting your 0.25.
I'm talking about. That's the thing. His directing was good for like 20 minutes. That's why I'm giving the 0.25. I saw the vision he was trying to do. I saw his vision that he was trying to achieve, his obtaining achievement, but it went into the steaming pile of garbage that his directing is. I don't even think Rob Schneider directed anything else after this. He even produced the film himself. That's crazy to me that he had to literally put his own money into this film because no one else would have. Like, seriously.
He is directing something called Daddy-Daughter Trip in 2022.
Oh, good God. Real Rob. He did 16 episodes. Max Amney.
A mini?
Chosen One. And this was his first directorial debut. This was his directorial debut film. And it fell flatter than a drunk guy trying to walk a straight line. It was bad.
There was nothing that I could support as far as the direction in this film.
No. Nothing.
Even in seeing the vision of what he wanted to accomplish, that still only lines up with plot because he did not accomplish what he was envisioning.
No, it was absolutely terrible.
So I couldn't give it any more than a 0.
Yeah. Attraction.
0.
The point I gave it a 0.25 because of the little comedy bits I got out of it. I was like, oh, that's funny. Okay.
I laughed twice. I can't give it more than a 0. It's supposed to be a comedy, and there was nothing comedic about it.
Yeah, those little one-liners were it. That's it.
There was nothing that pulled me into this film. Again, it took me 10 hours to watch the damn thing.
11. Remember, it was 11.
Whatever.
You seem violently like frustrated.
I'm sorry, but this film just, it was a waste of time. Absolute waste of time.
So 11 hours of your life is gone because of this film?
Well, I mean, the 2 hours that it took to watch this,
Yeah.
like the 2 hours total, but yes, the 11 hours I took, I don't know how I'm trying to explain this. It took me 11 hours, but I only spent 2 hours of it watching the movie, you know, because that's how much total. But still, that's 2 hours I can't get back.
Yeah, exactly. That's 2 hours I will never see again. I agree with you. Yeah, no. Okay, dialogue.
0.5, just because of the very little parts that made me laugh. The best part was the part that made me laugh the most was when Big Raymond did his "What about the counterfeiters? You're the only one that's counterfeiter." And then he does his little smile and his blush. And the fact that he found, okay, who wants to rape Big Raymond? And then one person raised their hand, you know, and then they end up in a relationship, you know. That was funny, but that is the only thing that made me laugh throughout.
Who wants to have consensual sex with Big Raymond?
Right, consensual sex. That's what it was, not rape.
I like the God, I'm terrible with his name. Shorts. The was one second.
Just Shorts. He was known as Shorts.
Yeah, Shorts. Yeah, I liked his character. Also, I found that when they were getting juice out of the toilet, the jungle juice, I was like, ugh.
Toilet bowl wine.
Yep, toilet bowl wine. Hey.
Apparently, that's actually a thing. I don't know. I've never been to prison, so I wouldn't know.
It's actually a real thing. It's a Kool-Aid and whatever they can get their hands on.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I've never been, but apparently it's a thing.
I felt the one-liners salvaged like nothing, but it was still funny enough to keep me alive.
Oh, wait. What did you rate it?
0.5.
Oh, okay. We rated the same.
Yep. Scenery.
A 0.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I want to know why.
Because there's nothing eye-popping. Like, he's in a courthouse. He's in a back alley when he meets him. He's at his house most of the time, or in the prison most of the time. There's nothing really eye-popping or scenery to give.
I was being generous and gave it a 0.25.
Well, I mean, I could have, but I was like, you know what? I gotta be honest. I hate this. I hate this film.
I hate the film too, but there was enough changes in his scenery that kept me like, okay, there's something different. It wasn't. Yes, it was the same stuff, but at least it was something.
Okay, there were constant changes. I'll give it that. So I will up it to 0.25.
Ooh, yeah. There we go. But no, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, the changes were just so good to keep me interested. But that's it. That's it. It wasn't spectacular. I think the best scenery they had was probably the house.
Yeah, because it was immaculate.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's fucking huge and gorgeous. I would love to live there.
Oh yeah, $7 million frozen. That's what happens. Okay, we're on the answer that we already know what you're gonna say.
The big one, here it comes.
Recommended.
Absolutely not. A
0.
big fat 0.
0, my hero. That's exactly what I'm giving it.
I would not recommend this to my worst enemy. It is a terrible film.
So, now, overall, we're gonna start wrapping this up because we already know what this film is. It's a steamy pile of awful acting, awful directing, cinematography was lackluster.
But hey, you did get me to go up 0.25, so instead of being a 1.75, I gave it a 2.
I changed a couple of mine throughout, so I gave it a 3.25.
Oh lordy, how did it get that high?
Because of the sound, the animation, and the dialogue.
Oh man, it was just terrible. But somehow, IMDb gives it a 6.1.
Yes. So Big Stan is given a 6.1 out of 10. There are 45,000 people who voted on this. Now, this movie has actually moved up 512 slots in popularity.
Of 3,556.
Yes. And if we look at the top review, okay, let's find the top review for. I kind of want to find I want to find the Metacritic, but they don't have that. They have like a user review, but someone gave it an 8 out of 10. Rob Schneider is unrapeable. That's the title of it. But if we go to yeah, this film is a steaming pile of terrible acting, terrible directing. There's no you don't feel passion in this project, and you don't feel like it's there. It's flat in all corners. The acting is horrendous.
It is very bad. The best performance I saw was from both Jennifer Morrison and our lovely Rob Sapp, who plays Big Raymond.
Big Raymond, what up?
Other than that, there was nothing.
There was nothing
it
there.
was just bad.
We do not recommend this film. We do not encourage you to watch this film. If you're a Rob Schneider fan, go watch it. I don't care.
No, if you're a Rob Schneider fan, don't watch this because it will take you away from liking Rob Schneider. It really won't. I'm just kidding. But that is just me saying, do not waste your time. It is terrible.
Yeah, this film is a steaming pile of hot garbage that we'll never recommend. So
we watch it so you don't have to.
You watch it so you don't have to. Exactly, my friend.
Absolute garbage.
So now we're going to be talking about next week's episode as we're wrapping up this episode. Ben, this trailer was everywhere.
It was intense.
I felt super into the trailer. Like it was super intense.
Yeah, it was
next week's
wow.
movie. Yeah, next week's movie is called Perfect Blue. It's an anime movie that came out in 1998. We'll give you a simple synopsis. This is the simplest thing I'm going to say. That as what I read, it's about a pop idol switching her careers as an to become an actress. That's what I saw out of this trailer.
With some twists and turns
and some struggles.
I'm not sure what they are. I haven't read the synopsis. I just watched the trailer, so We'll see. What did you rate the trailer?
I gave it. The trailer was intense. I'm excited, yet I got a butterfly effect feeling. So I'm giving it a 7.5.
I gave it an 8 because I felt like I was, connecting in this, and I felt like I could really enjoy what I'm about to watch, just because this lady has her. I feel like it's getting into the rough and dirty of being popular and being an actress, or switching from idol to actress.
Yeah.
And her struggles. So I feel like I'm going to really like it. So I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah, it looks interesting. We'll see what next week entails.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited for it. So as we wrap up, I like to say thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share with your friends. This is the Nerd Taku Podcast. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm always having fun on this show.
Hell yes, the show is amazing. Take care, guys.